discipline. So computer science, computer engineering, electrical and computer engineering, electrical and computer science. So there are like so many variations of it. We would encourage you to apply.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think there are no more questions. So I would like to introduce the next speaker, who is Professor Ben, who is an associate professor at CSU-DH. He currently, his research interest lies in intersections of data networking and algorithms, and he is currently focused on virtual machines and virtual network functions. Give a warm welcome to Professor Ben.
Thank you for the introduction. So can I share my screen?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So can you see my slides?
Yep, they are working, Professor.
Oh, very good. So yeah, first of all, I would like to thank you for coming here to this session. And I would like to thank Dr. Husain to talk about the fantastic coverage program. So to apply this program for our students, so one critical component is the research. So that's where I pick in, to talk about the research component of this program. And in particularly, I would like to, demystify what it's like to do research at the CSU-DH. So please feel free to ask me any questions. So this presentation tends to be personal, not technical, professional presentation. So it tends to be personal. So I'm trying to approach it from a personal perspective. All right. So here's my life. I was born in 1973 in China. I went to college there, and in 1992, actually majoring in not computer science, but nuclear physics in Peking University in Beijing, China. So after my undergraduate degree, I came to the States and to pursue my master's degree and PhD in material science. Okay, now there was a time, the internet was booming, and in around 2000. So I decided I need to, give a change of my life, and I switched to computer science. And but then you can see that is really not a short journey. 7 more years in computer science. I finally got my PhDs after many struggles, many tears and efforts. So after that, I got my first job as teaching at Wichita State University, electrical engineering, computer science. So then I moved to Golden, California. And then finally, I joined the CSU-DH in 2013. Okay, so here's my family. And my wife, Yu Tian Chen, she's a professor at economics at Cal State Long Beach. So we have 2 boys, and Benjamin and Stephen. So I do have some hobbies besides research and teaching. I play classic guitar and the Spanish guitar. So if some of you are experts, probably can be my teacher, because I'm very amateur, but I really love to play. I even played in my wedding many years ago. Okay. I also I like sports, not playing but watch. Right, I watch mainly I follow the LA Galaxy, the soccer games. So tomorrow noon they have their first game, in this pandemic session. So I'm looking forward to their first win. So I'm teaching a variety of courses here. So I probably will skip them, and for sake of time. So my research as the introduction, Chris said, right? So my interest in research is really trying to combine networking, algorithm, and data management. So merely how the data, different kind of data, not just the data in the traditional sense, right? So a software is a piece of data, a virtual machine is a piece of data, or even a networking architecture. Probably if it is softwareized, it is a piece of data that can be moved around. Right, so my research focus on all different kinds of this kind of intersection. So Internet of Things, cloud computing, like the first speaker, the keynote speaker talk about, right? the security, the cloud computing, all those latest technology advancements. So of course, we approach them not from the business or business executive point of view. We approach them from the researcher point of view, right? How to identify and solve them as algorithms. So I'm really not an expert of networking per se. Probably many of you are better than me in terms of how to hack a network, or how to do this system programming, software socket-based programming. But I'm mainly to approach it from the algorithm perspective. So I would like to give you a little bit about the introduction about my research here. So I mainly publish together with our students, Philip and Chris. They are both undergraduate students. Actually, they got their first paper. Actually, for the Philip, that's the first paper, but Chris, that's the second paper. We just got their research accepted in the first computer science conference for CSU undergraduate students in this year. So I'm very proud of them. And they are mainly focused on the, the virtual network function, load balance, flow migration in cloud data centers, and the virtual machine placement algorithm in cloud data centers. Okay, don't worry. So if this sounds very new, but I will tell you that they are just mainly some very simple algorithm practice. As long as you have programming skill and basic algorithmic training, you will be very comfortable to work on this kind of project. All right. So I also work with some graduate students. We publish in sensor networks, and we use some kind of advanced techniques, a quadratic programming approach. But again, so it's mainly I will be mainly responsible for this, the architect algorithm design. But our students mainly help us to implement them, right? As long as you are, a good programmer, and you have this basic curiosity about research, and you're probably interested in graduate school, even PhD, like Dr. Husain said, go to our come to our coverage program. So we actually support you financially, right? Not just financially, actually, emotionally and morally, and in many ways to support you to progress, to exceed in this process. All right. So yeah, so so last year I also published with one undergraduate student, Vincent Tran. He's now a PhD student, first year PhD student at the UC Riverside. So and Hugo Flores, he was a graduate student. Actually, he was not a computer science major. He was a physics major too in UC Irvine. Then he came to our department, got his master's degree. He's now just employed by Google. Right, so Chris Gonzalez, he is actually another fantastic student, as I just mentioned. And last year we published a paper in ICCCN 2020. Okay, so let me go back to my slides. So hopefully, are you seeing my slides again? Good.
Yeah, we can see the slides.
Yeah, slides are working.
All right, thank you. So yeah, my goal as a researcher and educator is really, I want to really be a good researcher, educator. And then mainly I really would like to inspire young minds, like all of you sitting here, listen to me, right? I really would like to pass the passion of teaching and research to our students. So really my humble and actually global goal, and not humble, actually, I guess this is a very ambitious goal and also very important goal, is that I hope really some of you or some of our students really can get an advanced degree and even a PhD, and come back to our department or any other CSU, and probably any other schools, not just for CSU, right? So but really we are all CSU, so certainly we treat our CSU especially. So come back to our department, to teach as our colleagues. So that is really a very nice thing to have. So why research, right? So there are many things, curiosity, I guess that's the first thing first, right? So we have to be curious, why, how, right? When many years ago, when the apple hit the head of Newton, he suddenly come up the silly question, why, right? The apple hit me, right? So instead of just scratch your head and walk away, right? He asked this silly, curious question, but really not silly, but that's Newton's law and all those things really changed the whole process of the entire world, right? And also realistically, we can learn many valuable life skills, right? How to be a professional team makers, the team and team players, how to be responsible for your own activities, and how to help each others, right? So really, also we really promote a lot of confidence in reading, writing, analyzing, and sharing. Because research is all about you need to stand on the giants of the shoulders of the giants, right? You have to read, what's going on, and you have to really synthesize. You have to then come up with your own idea and your insight, right? And then you write up your paper and you share with the community, right? So really, it's about gaining a deeper understanding of the scientific process, right? And develop research questions. Right, as those seems silly, but really fundamental, very important questions, all right, to test. Okay, and also you get paid, right? So like this car bridge program, we really are trying to help you, but we definitely think, this process is a process that we needs lots of help. So really, we would like to support you, and also, for me, although I also support my students from my research, from my grant. Okay, so really publish your work, right? So present at the conferences and travel. Right, so really that's probably the best part of the research, right? So here's a few conference travels we're supposed to have last year, right? And we actually, and the first in April, we Vincent's supposed to go to Beijing, China, to present his Infocom paper, but that was unfortunately the start of the pandemic. So we have to go virtual. Right, so then in the summer, Chris supposed to go to Hawaii to present his paper, but again, unfortunately, this is the virtual. And the end of last year, so we are supposed to go to with our graduate students, go to in New Delhi, India, the magnificent Taj Mahal, right? But again, that didn't materialize. So really, I hope that some of you can join us for this year, next year. Hopefully the pandemic is gone, and then we can, get our papers accepted and travel all over the world. All right. So really, why do research at CSU-UTH, right? As Dr. Husain mentioned, coverage, right? We really have many supporting programs for us, right? And also LSAMP, right? That's another fantastic program across the CSU campuses, right? In our school, Dr. PhD and his team, we have this fantastic Cassie, right? And working with many other institutions across the country, right, to help our Hispanic students to realize their dreams. Okay, most of all, we have many caring faculties here, and also CSU-UTH, Dr. Husain came all the way from Pomola, right, to really to inspire us, to teach us. Really, we really have our high expectations for our students. No, we not just want you to graduate, right? So certainly that's the first thing first, but really we want you to really to succeed, and already to stretch yourself probably, and be a higher achiever, right? To achieve some things you probably think, okay, now I cannot do that. No, everyone can do it, right? So I'm sure if I can do it, if I have time, I can share more with you, more experience of my personal experience of PhD, and that's actually. Yeah, so, and also for me, I have many well-defined doable problems. So for all these years, I actually come up with some well-defined doable problems. That really is a very important part of the science research, but really each of problem, as long as you took the undergraduate, algorithm, data structure, and the basic logical reasoning, then you are able to engage with me to solve these problems. Okay. So yeah, I would like to end my presentation about this 6 degrees of separation. As you all know, we talk about any two person, right, in this world, no matter we have like 6 billion or 8 billion people, but within within 6 acquaintances, then we know each other. Isn't that fantastic? Right? Actually, in the movie industry, right, they have the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Hopefully I pronounce his last name correctly. So basically every 2 movie actors, right, somehow they acted in some movie. But so if one actor co-acted with another actor, and the other actor probably co-acted with another actor, probably within 2 movies, within 6 movies, probably they all co-acted with this guy, Kevin Bacon, right? So who starred in Apollo 13, and probably you were still too young to watch that movie, but when I was many years ago, yeah, that was a fantastic movie. Anyhow, so I was inspired by these 6 degrees of inspiration. Actually, I come up with this 4 degree of Nobel Prize, right? So Nobel Prize, why 4 degree of Nobel, right? So Alfred Nobel, the Swedish guy. So here we have this Jeffrey Woolman. He recently just got his Nobel Prize in computer science, right? We call the Turing Award, 2020. Actually, he is my advisor's advisor. So which means if you work with me, then you are 4 degrees away from the Nobel Prize. Okay, isn't that exciting? Okay, so of course this is just my own sense of humor. All right, so really I would like to stop here, and I'm open to any question. Thank you very much.
Yes, we have 2 questions at the moment from the students. If there's more, if anyone else in the audience wants to ask, go ahead. The first one is, what's the most interesting topic you've researched?
Wow, that's a good question. I never thought about that. For all this last 15, 20 years, probably I researched many problems. At first, my advisor gave me some questions, some problems I have to work on, right? Even before that, probably course project, right? So we all do course project, a professor signed, and then my advisor signed to me. And then after PhD, I have to be my own independent research, right? So I have to come up with my own research. Yeah, very good question. I really, see from this question you guys are asking me, I'm really inspired. So then give me 10 seconds, right? The most interesting question. I think the most interesting question is really the question I haven't discovered yet, because research, and like many other fields, right, is really what is lying ahead is the ultimate prize. So I think not the most interesting question. Probably we're still working. I'm still trying to find it. Probably gonna with your help, right? So what is that fantastic discovery we're gonna make all together here from CSU-UC. So yeah, I have to say, not yet. All those questions I've been working on, they are very good questions. And they are very interesting questions. But I think probably I'm still looking forward to my next question. But if I want to say, if I have 1 second to think about all this research I have done, I think yeah, the first piece of question many years ago, 2010, or the second year when I was in my assistant professor, I attended a conference. I even don't have a paper, but I realized, attending conference is important. So I attended a very good conference in my field. So I just sit in the talk, right? So then the speaker talk about some kind of research, sensor networks, okay? So they talk about sensor networks without base station. Right, and then that is when suddenly click in my mind. Wow, base station, sensor network without base station, because my PhD was talking about sensor networks with a base station, how to connect data and transmit back to the base station, right? So now there's no base station. Suddenly that inspired me. Wow, that's a fantastic, simple observation. Then, because without base station, then in the sensor network, which can be categorized by the graph, then this data, then they have to really communicate with each other, right? In this model, then how the sensor communicate with each other to preserve the data and consider their storage, energy constraint. Those are suddenly a new question that has not really been adequately explored. So I was inspired by that. I published my first paper. I got my first grant. That is how my research jump started. So yeah, if that is if there's one memorable project, that is the one. All right. So yeah, if you are interested in more, to go to my website to find out that first paper, 2010 math paper, IEEE MASS. Thank you for the question. Very nice.
All right. Next question is, what's the best way if I want to start my own personal research? How can I get started?
All right. So, as we have many good peering professors in each classes, right? In each class, usually professor, they will do some computer science, right? We have to do projects. Really, I guess the best way is really to do well in those projects. probably some of the projects the professor designed probably from their research, right? So really that is where you can really to get the first idea of the research project, right? So then approach those professors, right, including me. Hey, so I'm interested in research. I want to get started with research. I probably am interested in this Cambridge program. I want to do my PhD, right? So then talk to professors, because that's what they are for, right? They are here to teach students and also work with students for research. Really, also to visit a professor's website, right? Because for each professor, you can see that they teach courses, but they publish, right? So visit their, take a look of their publications, what kind of research they're working on. Are you interested in them? And then really, pay attention to all those emails in circulating campus, because we have many, for example, this Tower Hack, such a fantastic event, right? So also the CASI, they have many events. And also we have the undergraduate research activity and, symposium, right, and a student research day. So many of things we can just pay attention and we get involved, and then you finally work with a professor. For example, I'm open to talk to any of you. If you're interested in research, I can support you. We can, we can publish paper, and as long as you are curious, as you really think, okay, I want to probably beyond my bachelor degree here at CSU-UC, I probably want to go to graduate school. I want to get my PhD. I want to be a professor, right? So I want to to be the first doctor in my family, right? So those are really things I would like our students to think about, and really to consult with us, with us, because we are here really more than happy to help you guys. So many times, our office hours are empty. We don't have any students visit us. We are really as faculties, we really would like to see people visit our office hours, just chat to us, right? We are here to help you. We are friends. We are not just instructors to try to give you a grade, evaluate you, ABCD. That is not a purpose. Our purpose here is really to try to engage with you, to inspire you, so that you will become a much, obviously, definitely even better out of yourself.
All right, that seems to be all the questions, but if anyone wants to write down a question, go ahead. We still have a couple more minutes left.
So Dr. Husain, when is the next meeting? A coverage meeting?
April 28th.
All right, so I'm able to attend that. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed a few before. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, we're really hoping we'll get some,
Yeah, right now we have one student,
yeah.
who is interested in. So then I guess I need to, approach her again, to see what's going on, because May 1st, right? May 1st is the deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing, a little bit difficult is that, for the junior students, right? For the research component, it's a little bit tough, because, they are just in the second year, and then they are still, working hard for their research, for their courses. Probably they didn't get a chance to interact with professors yet. So
yeah.
do you have any good idea, any suggestion for our students, how to engage research in earlier years?
Right. I think the best approach is actually talk to a faculty member. Some classes you might have taken. I was just, talking to Christopher, before the talk was starting, about his interest and things like that. So I think the way a faculty member can help you is give you some pointers. You can skip like 10 years worth of Googling just by talking to a faculty member, because we have passed that 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of benefit of networking with a faculty member, that something, big you want to do, just ask them, like, how do I reach there? You might not know all the bridges. So whatever area it is, they will be able to kind of take you to the next step. So talking to a faculty member is very important. And even for applying for CalBridge, I think you can always get some more ideas. So in the junior and senior year, you're going to be mentored by a CSU and UC faculty member who are going to groom you in research as well. So all the students who received summer research offers in our current cohort, all of them received support from us in terms of preparing their application, where they should apply. So we asked them like, which area you want to pursue later on. So they gave us some broader area, and we kind of suggested that, okay, these are the REUs that you should probably shoot for, and prepare your application, and help them with the recommendation letters. So there is a lot of support available from the program itself to kind of take the next step.
Yeah, yeah. Another probably minor issue is that for many of our senior or junior, right? So they somehow they didn't realize they want to do some research in their like earlier years, but then when they get to the point of graduation or think about graduate school, then they come up with this this fantastic program coverage. So then really is it possible that our program somehow can still involve them, right? Because I know this is a 2 years program that we need really some preparation, some kind of systematic engagement with the students. But still I feel, even though some students, they know this program in their junior year or their sophomore year, but then they when I was, in my early year of college, really, I don't know what's going on. I know nothing about it. I don't mention about research. I even don't know many things, right? So really probably when I get to older, more mature, I think about research. I guess probably we should have some kind of casual or even loosely
Yes,
mechanism.
right. Actually, we have that. So
Yeah.
So when they're applying for the program itself, we ask them to write I think three small essays. It's like 250 word each, where we're kind of start to get them thinking about which area of research they would like to pursue.
Nice.
And so I think there were students who got accepted in the program, um, who didn't have like a solid structured research background, but they explained in a class project, um, after they finished the class, they continued the project, worked with that faculty member, they described that project.
Yeah.
So one, we kind of ask them what kind of experience that they have. So it could be a very intensive class project, it could be a research project with the faculty member, and then the other is basically asking about their future, which area of research they would like to pursue. um, and like by default, in the CS domain, when you ask right now, everyone just drops the word big data. So in the interview, we actually asked them to kind of tell exactly what they mean by big data, which area of research they would like to pursue, just to get them thinking. So yeah, definitely, even if they don't know exactly what they want to do, or um, have like a fully structured research experience, we would encourage them to apply.
Yeah.
And they don't know, maybe they'll get this year, maybe like try next year again.
Yeah. So I mean, for our junior senior students, right? So if they won't get interested in research until when they get to the junior or senior graduating year. So for those students, I think we probably still should have some kind of mechanism to engage with them, right? To cultivate their pursuit in some sense.
Right. So
Yeah.
we highly encourage them to apply in the junior year, because the way the workshops are planned,
Mhm.
it really helps them if you get in the program in the junior year. So
Yeah.
first they should apply and then see where it goes. And we definitely, if we see some potential in their application, um, we give them feedback to apply next year. We keep their application. So there are
Yep.
different opportunities for them.
All right. So any other question from the audience?
There are Jonathan, Shua, if you have a question, if possible, type it in Huva. Sorry, I can't really unmute people here. But one of the other questions is, if we are coming from a community college, does the application process work the same way? Do you apply to a certain CSU first, or just the program itself? Are all CCs in California participating?
So you have to have an admission from a CSU at the point when you're applying. So in the application, you need to mention which CSU you are going. So the application is due in May. You should know, if even if you're in a community college, you should know which CSU you are going in next fall, and that CSU information you need to put in the application.
Okay. Next question. Is it good to have a intro to research course for first year CS students to help with more awareness?
Yeah, for our graduate students, actually, we do have that course, 501, the research methods for the students to get started with research. But good question for the undergraduate students. I don't think we have a research specific oriented course until we get to 492 senior design, right now, which is the last one. So yeah, so really that's a very great, fantastic question. I think probably we should think a little bit more how to really integrate research in the early years of the computer science curriculum, right? So to inspire our students about research, probably some apple dropping kind of question, right? In physics, so what kind of that question in computer science? How those pioneers, how for example, Professor Jeffrey Woman and came up with all those ideas in database and combiners, right? So some very fundamental question, but at the very beginning, probably very naive question, right? That's actually very nice. Probably history of computing, right? Or some kind of great minds in computing, right? So just from the history point of view and from a layman's perspective, right? How computer science is, what is computer science is, and how computer science works. Yeah, that's great. I guess, yeah, I definitely would like to convey to my chair to talk about the undergraduate research curriculum.
All right. With that, there seems to be no more questions.
I have one
Oh,
question actually.
Jose,
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm actually starting my senior year this upcoming fall. So I'm wondering, is this like the best opportunity for me to start getting into research if I wanted to?
Yes, certainly. That's also, anytime is best time, as long as you make up your mind to do some research, right? Because when I work on my PhD, I already in my early 30s, right? So really, I guess you guys still, right? So compared to me, to really young. So really, I guess anytime is a good time. And even you after graduate, even work in a company, you decide, hey, gee, I want to go back to school, get my graduate degree or PhD or do some research. That's also fine. But certainly now you realize you want to do research, that's fantastic, right? So for example, talk to me or talk to other professors and look around and see what you're interested in. And also ask you, why do you want to do this, right? So sometimes we don't, of course, I'm not saying that you should have an answer, but many times we just have that guts, right? We have that instinct. I want to do this, but I don't know why. Very, very important, right? But yeah, talk to us and never let those snap your fingers and yeah, probably we can help. Right, to interact with us, email us, and have some initial communication with the faculties. That's probably going to be the first step. All right.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Is that all your questions today? Just want to be sure.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. And with that, yeah, there are no more questions, and the session should technically over. One thing I do want to comment is upcoming at 12:15 on Huba, we do have a network table, which is basically our networking. So if you instead want to network instead of go to another speaker, that is possible. You just have to go to network table. It's going to be a table of 4 and rotate every 5 minutes, and it's going to be for an hour.
Sounds good. I will be there.
Right. Thank you, Professor Bing and
Dr.
Professor
Husain, okay.
Mohammad.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So, Chris, how did you send me the link for the recording? if possible?
I think I should get the Zoom file and I'll email you via like Google
Okay.
Drive or something. Can you actually send me your email? Actually, I think I have it because
Sound-
Mohammed. Yeah, I have it. I have your email.
Okay.
So I'll link you a Google Drive video of it
All
or
right.
YouTube or something.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you
Yes.
all. Okay.
No,
See you
no
at
worries.
12:15.
Yep,
Take care.
see you.
Bye.
Bye. And with that, this session is now over. There are no more sessions could be happening on this Zoom link. So we do still have 4 other tracks that will have Zoom sessions. So, and also the networking table. Thank you for attending Choro Hack. And thank you.